Papa Steve's here, and today I've done something a little different. Normally I just build things from my imagination. This time I've purchased a book. The title of the book is Turn of the Century House Designs. Within that book there was floor plans, elevations, and even interior designs. Now here on the left I've kind of mapped out what I want the house to look like. Using carpet on this area, I could, get my spacing and get the actual sizing down to a size that I want. I've had to adjust the plans from the book a little bit just so it all works with Minecraft. This is a turn of the century house, so there will be fireplaces and little parlors and areas to socialize. And kitchen area where they'll cook. Also, we'll have a second story. Brown bits represent the roof. The second story will be smaller. There'll be a roof over the front porch and such. This is likely a bit of a balcony out here. So, as you can see, there'd be multiple bedrooms, fireplaces upstairs too. Based on the plans, I didn't know you could actually do that. But apparently, now, once I've got this all mapped out here in this area, I took and made a map of the area. Now I kind of got a bit of a blueprint to go by and start building my turn of the century home. Now, just like every real estate adventure, it's location, location, location. We need a fine location for our home. I worked at a little area just beyond the castle here. I've flattened out a little terrain just in front of our large structure over there. We've got this area flattened out. Nice little riverfront property. Seems like a good idea. Now, first thing I gotta do is let's get our blueprint up here so I can see what we're trying to achieve. Carry it around. I can just come over here and take a look. See what I'm doing. So again, on the left is the first stage, or first floor, I suppose. And on the right is this second floor. So, start our build here. Now you got to work on a foundation. I need to transfer that plans, those blueprints, to real world. Seems like as good a spot as any. I'm going to start with cobblestone for my foundation. I'm going to complete all the perimeter of the building and make sure I like where I'm sitting. Looking good. I like it. On the back side, it's actually below ground level, and on the front we're right on ground level. So what I'm going to do is raise up the foundation. Bring it up a little higher. So we'll have a front porch at the front with some stairs. And at the back it can be at ground level. I'm going to try and do this like it's a real house. Not just Minecraft where we don't have to worry about structures and beams and holding things up. I want to make it kind of look like we're actually building this building and Although these beams are a little bit long, not true to how you would build a house, I think you get the idea. Looks like we got some support here in the middle. Okay, looking good. Now, this is basically the cellar, cold cellar. This is a turn of the century, so they didn't have refrigerators or things like that. They mainly had a cellar. And I gotta be careful. You get unexpected company. Little guys, you can just say goodnight to you, goodbye to you. I believe there's a spider lurking in the tall grass over there. Okay, let's get back to work here. We've got a house to build. And now I've dug it all out. And the floor in the cellar is dirt, and I've turned it all into path blocks. That should keep anything from spawning inside my basement. Probably use this all as storage. Good, back in the turn of the century, this is where they would have kept all their goods. Potatoes and carrots and preserves. Don't think they would clear it out totally like I've done. They'd probably have a much smaller cellar in Minecraft. So, with our cellar completed, we can now get working on our first floor. I've laid out the wood and positioned the fireplaces. Be careful with the fireplaces because they will set the wood on fire. I believe also a turn of the century home would have been made out of wood, not stone like this. But I kind of like stone, and it sort of matches the neighborhood. So, you can change the block palette to whichever you like. Another issue I have is I'm going to have stone walls, as I mentioned, out here. Using a lot of glass. I'm not so sure they would have glass this big, windows this large in the turn of the century. I kind of think you'd have much smaller windows, but, you know, this is Minecraft. We can make a few adjustments. I have to admit, this back wall here looks a little plain. I think I need to build something out here. I'll come up with something. Change that. Around this side should be where the kitchen is. There should be a back door back here somewhere where the goods are brought in, but again, at this point, we just have our walls, our first story built. Yeah, we've got a good start going. Let's take a look at our plans over here. See how we're doing. So that's level 1. I still haven't done this front porch part or anything. I've only completed the house part and just the shell, basically. The interior definitely wouldn't be stone. So I believe they would have put like strapping on the walls and plaster everything. Very labor intense. Can't imagine. Nowadays we use a drywall product. But for here in Minecraft, one of the reasons I made the house so big is I wanted to double the walls. I'm using concrete on the insides of the walls. So the actual wall is 2 blocks thick, which would be 2 meters thick. So the scaling for Minecraft in real world just doesn't really add up. So we'll just make do. Well, I want to check and see if any spawning. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the path blocks down here will make it so nothing can spawn. Okay. Here we are. All my interior walls of the first floor are completed. Everything, interior-wise and exterior, with the exception of the front porch, completed. So yes, as we're in Minecraft, things are very thick. But all in all, looking good. Except I'm short a few blocks. There we go. Okay. Oh, nice fireplace. Here, this would be like our living room. Back here, there'd be some kind of a parlor, bookcases, or this is turn of the century. No, internet, radio. You'd be reading books or playing card games or something. Okay. Level 2. And I've extended that little centerpiece out here in the back. This kitchen area is only 1 story tall, so there's a roof there. And this side, I've extended this up, and got our chimney all the way up. A little bit of smoke coming out. It's looking pretty cool. Let's get inside. Again, we still have to do the front porch. So far, we've got this lovely area where we could have some dining, and back here would be like our kitchen where we prepare all our foods. Nice large living room where we would entertain guests and greet people, and back here would be like a private little parlor room where all us older gentlemen would smoke our pipes and talk politics, I'm sure. And the basement, or cellar, I suppose, cold cellar, I think they'd call it. Yeah, we'd get lots of storage. We'd probably put a bunch of chests down there so we could keep all our goods. Front's sticky out a little bit here at the back. So that's no real purpose, just wanted to make the outside look a little more detailed. But lots of room. Back in the turn of the century, you usually had a large family. You know, I had to divide up the rooms a little smaller up here, but for the most part, you had large rooms and you shared a room with your siblings. To put a veranda, porch, something out there. And at the top, we still need to install a roof. Roofs are kind of tricky. A few different angles and stuff we've got to deal with. Landscaping. Yeah, we need to do a little landscaping out here in time. We're really concentrating on the building a house at this point. See the kitchen area, it's not the full 2 stories, so we've put a roof on that and closed it off. Everything, so first and second stories are complete. Let's get the roof and the porch completed, and ta-da! There we have My turn of the century house. Quite large. I almost think you'd call it a manor. But I've done my best to stay true to what the book was showing me. I've added a few little things. Front door still a little bit large. We've had to alter the plans a little bit, but not a lot. The main idea there was very helpful, giving me a little bit of a guide to go along. I do believe it does look quite a bit like a turn of the century house. Something you'd see back in the 1890s, 1910, 125 or so years ago. That's what they would do. Other than probably wood. They wouldn't build a stone house like this, but maybe. Front porch. Seemed to all have a front porch that people could sit on and watch. But again, like, they didn't have TV, they didn't have internet. They sat out and watched nature, basically. They have a nice grand hall here. I'm sure they'd have pictures or something on the walls. Portraits or paintings of some sort. Nice area to entertain. You'd have friends and family over. Large dining area. Just remember, we usually had large families 100 years ago. Private parlor for the adults where they read or, talk and hang out. Big kitchen. Large kitchen area where all our meals would be made and delivered to the dining room. And the cellar. Yeah, we'd fill this full of storage chests, and they'd store a lot of goods down here. They'd keep cool. We don't have a refrigerator. Upstairs here. This little sticky outbit, which has real no purpose. And here we just had it divided up into rooms. There'd be a bathroom here somewhere. Not indoor plumbing, but a room with a bathtub. Probably close to one of these fireplaces, too. Or they could heat up some water and you could bathe. A little porch at the front here. Look out. This would be our Wi-Fi. Just looking at nature and enjoying the view. Life would be different 125 years ago. Upper levels here. I suppose this would be your attic where you would store old stuff and boxes of things. It's a little big. I left it open because I fly. So it's nice to be able to just fly by and fly right into the attic. I believe we've done well. Kind of matches my castle over there. Same block palette. I'm thinking this is the best view, best profile. I do like this. The chimney and a bit of smoke coming out the top. All the glass in the windows. Although the front looks great too. It's the front porch. Imagine it would go right across the front, but I made it a little smaller. Made a little adjustment. I think it looks fine. This has been fun. Interesting. Haven't really built anything from a plan or a predetermined style. But there you have it. Maybe next time I'll get a book on how to build a ship. That'd be fun too. But for now, this is Papa Steve's signing off.